All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm, of course, Hot Dogs, and we are here for another episode of The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis. And it has been a little bit. I am sorry for that, but I have finished up my crazy work schedule, and I will be going back to my regular scheduled programming next week. So, be prepared for that and expecting that. But as of right now, here on the Sandtrap Tribe, it is day 24. We are inching closer and closer to the finale, and it looks as though pretty much everyone is actually upstairs around the hookah. All of them are kind of watching the rats go by. Um, and you can really see how much everything is really starting to age them, as Brian has now become an elder and has a nice new gray haircut. But however, that beard is still brown, so kind of a look. We see that Bella, Nina, and Tina are smoking the hookah, relaxing and just kind of chit-chatting around the place. And Vesepia does eventually come to join them. A little bit off topic, but the reason I've also been posting a little bit slower recently is because I'm working on future projects and having so much fun doing that. As the series gets closer and closer to the end, of course, I am starting and beginning the series that are going to come after this, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that. And I'm really excited for the direction this channel is going to go in, all the different shows we're going to cover, and everything like that. So keep your eyes and ears peeled and ready for all my new projects. And if you want up-to-date updates on those or when I'm posting or anything like that, of course, you can always follow me on Twitter at HotDogSims. It's really important if you want to know when I'm uploading and stuff like that, especially recently. However, next week I am genuinely going to try to follow the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule once again. Let me know if that does bother you at all, or if you're okay with random dates or whatever. I'm honestly open to criticism and as well as opinions and things that you want me to change. I'm down to listen. Everyone else here on the Sandtrap Tribe is still just around the hookah, and everyone's pretty much in a really good mood. They're all really liking that everyone's smoking. Everyone's kind of cheering each other on. Brian seems to be in a little bit of a bad mood, though, but when is he not in a bad mood? I'm surprised he's not trying to rob someone or start a fight. Um, but everyone else is seeming to be in high spirits, getting along. All the girls have really united, and especially with Brian, I think that he is pretty much everyone's common enemy. However, as we know, in the last tribal council, he actually did get the votes to leave, however, had a hidden immunity idol, so he is not safe this week. So he was laying low, but it doesn't seem that he's doing that anymore. Brian can only really bite his tongue for so long before he explodes, and now it seems that him and Nina are really going head to head. Eventually, though, this argument does come to a quick end, and as soon as Vesepia starts to get out of there, Brian soon follows, and then as well as Nina, so everyone kind of just disperses and has left the upstairs. We see that Tina has actually gone outside and is in the gym working out, getting her aggression out on their little robot, and she's actually getting pretty good. I would say a lot of them, their skill points are super high, so I'm really excited for our challenges that are coming up. And sadly, Nina seemed to be on the way outside to join Tina in the gym before she got attacked by bees. So she changes into a beekeeper outfit and she fixes them up. It seems as though that the bees were aggravated by mites and not being taken care of properly, so they were kind of attacking anyone that walked by. So she puts it into that, and then she actually goes inside and takes her aggression out on a hidden immunity idol that she found. Not sure if it was hers, not sure if it was Bella's potentially, but it was lying around. She's picked it up or took it out of her pocket and is playing with that. We have to keep an eye out and see what happens. An interesting note is that this week's Tribal Council is actually going to be the last time hidden immunity idols can be used. So anyone that has one will be using them, and they will not be voted out. So I think this week, out of almost all the weeks, is kind of crucial to have a hidden immunity idol. There still will be a immunity competition in this episode where one person will be granted individual immunity. And they can potentially, if say they have a hidden immunity idol, they easily could give that to someone else if they win individual immunity. So there's a lot of different options. A lot of people can potentially be safe tonight. We see that our bills have not been paid, so the water got cut off, so I did have to have Jeff come and do that, and he did not seem too happy about having to do that for them. Poor Jeff is an old man now and did not want to leave his trailer to come pay the bills for them. Meanwhile, everyone else seems to be getting in a little bit of a bad mood. Brian has been in one, Nina is in one because of the bees, and it seems as though Fabio has found that hidden immunity idol that had been sitting there. It could have potentially been his, and he just now put it back. Maybe it was Nina's. Who knows? All that really matters is who has it at our tribal council in the next episode. Because whoever has it in their possessions when they get a tribal council will be safe. We see that Brian and Nina, I thought they were originally going to be making up, and they kind of are. They're not necessarily arguing, but they are still trying to like make amends with one another. I don't know if it's necessarily working. Meanwhile, Fabio just kind of overhears and listens while he drinks juice and has a lump of clay in his underwear. Tina and Vesepia are upstairs. I'm honestly surprised the two of them are not best friends or good friends yet. As we saw at the end of the last episode, Tina actually became good friends with Nina. And I would kind of assume the same thing would happen with Vesepia. The two of them have been getting along, especially since the tribe swap a couple of weeks ago. And the two of them are the oldest females on the tribe. So we'll have to see if Tina is able to create another strong friendship like she has with Nina. We see that Fabio is playing with that hidden immunity idol he picked up and is kind of showing that off. I think he is going to keep this in his possession, ideally, but who knows? I'm just trying to keep my eye on those things, especially as we're leading up to this next tribal council. Vesepia seems to still be ticked off. I don't know if it's necessarily because of Brian's presence or what it is. All of them are kind of still getting stuck at the landing of doom here. As soon as you get off the ladder, they're stuck by the rats. So that's kind of what's happening right now upstairs. It seems as though no matter where Nina goes or where Brian goes, they keep going in the same place. They're kind of following each other around the campsite, continuously starting a conversation that seems to have good intentions and then slowly becoming an argument. One of them will win, or not win, one of them will walk away and the other one will follow, and the same thing kind of happens over and over. They're kind of going in a continuous circle. I'm waiting for them to either become friends and stop fighting, like their moods change, or Brian's probably gonna steal from Nina and cause an actual fist fight. I'm not too sure where it's going. So not only am I trying to keep an eye out for the hidden immunity idols that are scattering around camp, but I'm also trying to follow these two around and make sure that no physical altercation takes place. So earlier I feel like Nina tried to get away from Brian and go work out, but instead she got attacked by bees. I think she might be a little bit too afraid to go in the backyard, so she instead goes to the front yard and opts out on playing basketball instead. So she's out there shooting hoops, trying to clear her mind, get rid of any aggression she has going on, making sure that she doesn't have this mood affect her other relations in the house and stuff like that, but it does not seem to be working, as she immediately turns around and storms inside looking angrier than she was before. So I'm worried at what exactly she's going to do, and hopefully it's just towards Brian and not towards anyone else. But Brian's really good at winding people up and then letting them, go off on everyone else. But instead she actually walks into the bathroom, probably looking to use it, and who does she walk in on? Brian. Unintentionally following him around, walks right on him using the bathroom, and as you can see, the sink is actually broken too. So this campsite is just slowly falling apart. Fabio is the only one that knows how to repair things. He's the only one that's ever tried. So he does actually stop his air guitar solo he has going on to go into the bathroom and fix the sink for everyone. I'm still really surprised that he's the only one that's able to do this and that does it on his own. No one else even remotely tries. They're completely content with just leaving the sink broken forever. Alright, but we are going to go ahead. We're going to have everyone head on over to the challenge arena, and this one is actually going to take place at our old challenge arena, just because it was easier for me to use the space to build the new challenge. But today we are going to be doing another individual immunity competition, so whoever wins today's competition will be safe at the next tribal council, along with everyone else who has hidden immunity idols that they use. So again, the next tribal council is going to be interesting. If a person doesn't have a hidden immunity idol, then today is insanely crucial for them to win this competition, because there will only be 2 to 3 members that are able to be voted off in the next one. So I feel like every immunity competition is getting more and more important to win, and this one is no exception. Okay, so we have everyone gathered here at the challenge arena, and as you can see in the middle of these storage containers, there is a pool, and this competition is called Swimming with Sharks, and it's again pretty simple. Everyone is going to go ahead and get into the water, and the rules are stay in it. So whoever stays in the pool the longest will win individual immunity and be safe from tribal council. So we see that everyone immediately jumps in, and there's a few different tactics going on. Naturally, of course, Richard skinny dips, because that's very much him. He's always naked, always doing challenges naked. So I don't know if it's a way to make other people uncomfortable, maybe make them want to get out of the pool faster. But he is the only one that's doing that. And because this pool is so small, the people that are trying to swim laps are actually getting stuck on the other Sims and are like lagging a bit. We see that because the pool is small, Vesepia still isn't bothered about lying on her back and relaxing. She's floating through other Sims, taking up the most amount of space. She has a face mask on, like she is treating this as if it is a spa retreat, which of course it is here in Oasis. They're in a dry desert. They have not had a pool on their campsite. I don't think any of them have gone swimming this whole time, except for Brian, for when he was in Oasis. So this is kind of a fun, relaxing competition for them. However, it is going to be very, very long lasting. We see that eventually Vesepia does actually get upright and is done floating on her back, and everyone is kind of stopped swimming around. I think everyone is kind of starting to feel the burn of having to tread water for this amount of time. Now, this pool is deep. It is probably, I would estimate, around like 10 to 12 feet deep. So they are definitely having to keep themselves up on here, and I feel like without floating on your back like Vesepia was, you're definitely going to feel it physically. And they are not allowed to hang on to the edges or anything like that either. They have to stay in the water. But everyone seems to still have high spirits. They seem to still be having fun, and especially as the day is still young. But this is going to go throughout the night, and hopefully no one dies, but we'll have to wait and see. There are medical teams waiting outside that are able to assist in anything, because again, as we are getting close to the finale, I feel like these challenges are getting more and more dangerous. What's also interesting is that none of them have an advantage. Again, none of them have been in a pool since they've been here on Survivor, except for Brian. He's the only one, so Brian's the only one that has a little bit of an advantage. We see that it is eventually too much for Rich, and Rich is actually the first person eliminated in the competition, mainly because he aged up. So in the middle of it, he had the action to age up, and Rich is now a naked elder. However, he still left the pool, no matter if it was because he was aging up or not. So he is still eliminated, and he's able to kind of sit on the sidelines and wait and watch the rest of the competition, which I feel like sucks a little bit more. Like, I'd at least want to be in a pool and competing for hours, but he is just going to have to sit here and watch them for hours. And at least the people in the pool can just pee in the pool. However, Rich does not have that option and instead has to pee all over himself because he can't hold it in any longer. So not only is he tired, bored, but he is also now filthy. He tries to, shower himself and clean himself up, but it's not going to do him any real good, unfortunately. All right, and as the sun begins to set here on day 24, the cold wind is blowing in, and also the wind has blown Cochrane into the challenge arena. Not too sure where he came from, but him and Rich are having a little bit of a conversation, kind of distracting the castaways that are in the pool. I do eventually kick him out of here, though, and tell him to leave, so he doesn't last very long. But I just can't get rid of these castaways no matter how hard I try. They will always show up in the middle of a challenge. It's pretty frustrating. It's because I don't have a gate surrounding the area, and you really do need protection. It's like I'm in a zombie apocalypse, and I need like walls up to prevent zombies from coming into my camp. That's what it feels like with these ex-survivors. They wanted to win so bad, and they just have not given up yet. They're still trying to interfere and play the game. We actually see that Rich makes his way off of the containers and ends up going over to the benches that are at the back of the campsite, and that way he can actually lay down and take a nap back there. He wasn't able to nap on the chairs, and since the sun is setting and night is rolling in, I'm sure he's tired. And not only is he tired, but imagine how the remaining people are here inside the pool that are still fighting to win the individual immunity. Seems as though the exhaustion is too much to bear for Tina, and she opts out and quits, making her the second person out of the competition and her now ineligible to win individual immunity. Immediately, she makes her way off of the containers and ends up also grabbing a bench to go and take a nap in. She was just too tired and didn't want to drown. As we see, that's also happening to Brian right now. As soon as he started sinking and panicking, he immediately forfeited and got out and is on his way to go nap on a bench as well, leaving us to only 4 castaways left in the competition. We have Nina, Vesepia, Bella, and Fabio still fighting it out in this pool after being in there for probably about 5 hours now. I personally could not do this competition. When I was younger, there used to be a quarry, like a granite quarry that was abandoned, and it was filled with water. So everyone would go there and cliff dive and swim, and it was like thousands of feet deep, like no way of seeing the bottom. If you drowned, they were not getting your body. It was down there. It was so scary and creepy. And also because it was like a granite quarry, there was no like coastline either. So it was exactly like this, like a big square hole, and it was terrifying. I could not do this, and even though this one isn't as deep, couldn't do it. So we actually see that Nina started sinking as well, and she immediately panicked and got out, and she is now out of the competition, leaving us down to now the final 3 of Bella, Vesepia, and Fabio. When it comes to Fabio, I'm not too surprised that he is still here in the competition, only because he is so fit. He's always working on his different skill points. He's always working out and doing different things in the gym, so I'm not surprised that he has the endurance and stamina to continue on throughout this challenge. Vesepia has been killing competitions recently. She's always winning them, always getting really far, and she also has a ton of skill points in different things. However, now that the bartending one is over, that was her main skill point. She is going to have to start practicing something else. I am, though, however, surprised to see Bella still here. I think she knows that maybe she's potentially in danger. The only real huge relationship she has with anyone is with Richard. And, you know, she needs to have the most amount of relationships as we get closer to the end. So maybe that's what's keeping her there. As we see, the moon has officially returned back down and the sun is now up, and we are on day 25. This competition has been going for almost 12 hours now, all throughout the night. And as you can see, everyone is exhausted. Look at the bags under their eyes. But Fabio had started to sink and panic, and he is now out of the competition, leaving only two. The two final girls competing are Bella and Vesepia, and one of them is going to win individual immunity and be safe at the next tribal council. As we see, Jeff is no longer paying any attention as to what's going on. He is just on his phone. Everyone else is kind of napping and complaining about being hungry. Meanwhile, these two girls are battling on in this pool. We see that Bella is starting to struggle. She's starting to complain. I mean, their legs have been constantly moving like this for over 12 hours. I can't imagine how exhausted they are throughout this competition, and they are still battling on and continuing. I actually feel like Bella is putting up a huge fight. We see that Vesepia is barely showing it on her face. She's kind of just keeping an eye on Bella and seeing what's going on. Meanwhile, Bella has been slowly complaining. She looks sad. She looks miserable. And Vesepia is just trying to look as stern, cold, and calm as she possibly can. Do you guys think you would do well at this competition? Like I said, I don't think I would, but let me know how you guys think you would do down below. Of course, I want to hear your opinions and comments. I love talking to my beanie weenies, so comment down below, and I love hearing from you. As I said, everyone else seems to be extremely bored. They're all napping, they're all sleeping, they're all ready to go back to the campsite, I'm pretty sure. But the two of them, Bella and Vesepia, just cannot come to an agreement. They're not going to decide who leaves on their own, and it's literally going to come down to who can physically make it the longest. Now, they have been in there for hours. This definitely feels like it could get risky, and if one of them does not get out soon, there is for sure a complete real danger that something bad could happen with one of them. And I think, you know, everyone's potentially talking about that possibility here, that are actually still paying attention and watching what's going on with the competition. And of course, as we can see, Bella Goth has let her determination get the best of her, and instead of getting out while she could and continuously just complaining about how tired she was, she has now drowned to death. The Grim Reaper has arrived to collect her body. Everyone is freaking out. Vesepia is still in the water. I would have gotten out already. Jeff is upset. Everyone is slowly, making their way up the ladder to get a closer look and see what's happening. However, because Bella is out of the competition, it does mean Vesepia has won individual immunity. It is totally overshadowed, though, by this tragic loss, and we see that Jeff is crying and pleading to the Grim Reaper for Bella's life back, and he does consider it. He thinks about how hot Jeff looks even as an old man, and I think that kind of helps sway his decision, and eventually the Grim Reaper does grant Bella her life back. So no one has died. No lawsuits will happen. The show is not canceled. Jeff's career is saved, and Bella's life is also saved. So thankfully the Grim Reaper does his little death magic, and Bella slowly comes back to life. Of course, everyone else is still pretty upset at seeing what happened, seeing that someone could actually die from these challenges. Like I said, these challenges are going to get more intense, more dangerous, and Bella definitely just proved that. And I can't help but think that in the future, when this when or if this happens again, the Grim Reaper will not be as forgiving as he was this time. So thankfully, Bella is still alive. Are you guys happy that Bella survived? She immediately goes and hugs Jeff, thanks him for saving her life. What do you guys think of that? Would you have liked to see Bella die? Are you surprised no one's died already? Let me know. However, even though Bella is alive, and technically she was in the pool the longest, I guess, Vesepia, according to the rules, is still the winner of the competition, and this is actually her second individual immunity win in a row. She is killing the competitions, she killed this one, and she will be safe heading into the next episode and their next tribal council. Everyone else is going to head back to their campsite, while Jeff has to offer himself to the Grim Reaper in order to pay back his debt. Because, I'm sure he already has done Illuminati, Hollywood, devil magic, but he is going to definitely have to partake in that again to repay him for Bella surviving. But that wraps up this episode of The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis, and I will be back this weekend for the Tribal Council episode, and I will also be back on camera. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. Follow me on Twitter, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.